Good afternoon. A thing. Oh, goodness. Mario versus Donkey Kong. Game Boy Advance. I enjoy watching the light on these labels to find the. You can just about see it there. Yeah, you can see it glimmer here. The telltale number 20 or 22 often. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I've talked about it before. It's probably not news to a lot of people, but yeah, it's in nice condition. It's it was cheap. I've been in the mood since picking up Final Fantasy X-2 for looking for. Oh goodness, what is it? Pardon me. I've been in the mood for checking out, looking to pick up cheap games. This was pretty cheap, like £6. So I was very preoccupied with how my teeth look in this video. Oh well. Just watching myself on the screen here. Anyway, yeah, I've been looking out for cheap games. There's been a few that have turned. Well, there's been a few things that have turned up that might have been interesting, if not for their price. Not all of them wildly expensive. In fact, none of them wildly expensive. But just trying to watch the pennies at the moment, and yeah, and that's about it. One of the games that came up was a PlayStation game I don't think I've ever really heard of before, but it looked like a PlayStation game, if you know what I mean. It looked like a Square Enix, Squaresoft kind of B C-list RPG that I'd never heard of. It's a Konami game, I think. It's called Vandal Hearts. It looked quite Final Fantasy-ish, but with a slightly less stylish and more kind of dated looking kind of design on the cover. I just realised I'm running out of space on my tablet, so it's going to have to be quick. Yeah, white background with like kind of emblem and the name across it. So quite Final Fantasy-ish, the white. It's got the emblem and Final Fantasy over the middle. It was a bit like that, but with the sword and shield, and looked a little bit more. I don't know. It looked very like 90s-ish, I suppose, in terms of the sort of cover you'd see on like an RPG cover art, and yeah, it just looked interesting. It's like 38 quid, I think, so not super expensive, but not cheap either. I looked it up, and yeah, it looks tactical turn-based RPG. Supposedly, it looks kind of cool. So definitely the sort of thing I would have liked to pick up, but just not gonna spend that money right now. And it's not like one of these things that will never turn up again, probably. So I scratched the itch with this instead, and this is a game that I actually really wanted at the time it came out, because I played it a little bit. I think this is strange. I played it, I think, in a shop or something, because I didn't know anyone with it. So, and you didn't really get demo things for Game Boy Advance, so I must have played it in a shop, and yet I hadn't realised until I started saying that there were ever, demo sets. Game Boy Advance's Game Boys set up in shops in the way that I do remember there being, PlayStations set up for demoing games and stuff like that. But there must have been, and I think in my head it must have been. Doesn't actually make sense with the time. I was going to say it was this game called this game shop called Neogen in Edinburgh, which was this independent place, which was pretty good. They had a weird policy where there was an initial charge for trading games in. Doesn't really make much sense, for getting credit. But the games, to buy the games new, they were actually cheaper than Game and Electronics Boutique, which were the kind of mainstream game shops at the time. Anyway, what am I talking about? Yeah, so actually, I don't think this makes sense for the time because they were closed, I think, before. No, that's not true. They were around with the Game Boy, the GameCube. Okay, maybe it was there. Who knows? But I did play it, and I thought it was a lot of fun. And it was a game I would have bought at the time, but you only have so much pocket money to spend on games, and this was considerably less, I suppose. Probably it's a less substantial game than the sorts of stuff that I would normally play. I like big sprawling adventure games, Zelda and the like, and Zelda, Pokemon. This, to my memory, it's a great looking, like well designed seeming puzzle platformer. Is it a bit Lemmingsy in terms of like. So wee robot Mario, as I remember, who moves through the. Although maybe that's the sequel. Anyway, Mario moving around a stage, kind of like moving through obstacles and stuff. Anyway, I look forward to playing this one. In fact, it's a game that I would have really liked to have played last night. I was looking for something relaxing to play. So I interrupted Resident Evil, which is kind of relaxing to begin with because it's quite slow paced, but I'm at a point with it that I'm just about to go into the second disc, so it's considerably less relaxing now. So I was looking, it would have been great to have a game exactly like this last night. I played Minish Cap instead. Started that. Anyway, so I don't have a lot to say about this game because I only played it very briefly once before, but it was a game that I wanted back at the time, and I was pleasantly surprised that it was so cheap. And it's nice looking, and that will do. Yeah, cool.